The 1619 Project Review. Nikole Hannah-Jones' groundbreaking initiative gets a frustrating Hulu adaptation. I saw people say this woman been stealing from Yvette and Tone.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this.
I agree.
When I first came into her talking points on social media, she did not sound the way she sounds now.
She's still totally different.
After Tone and Yvette made their information and data to the public, all of a sudden she started sounding a lot like them.
And she's a Jew.
And she's taking it and running with it. So the 1619 Project, I'm pretty sure y'all know about it. It is about the idea that America was founded in 1619 through the slavery and the free labor of Black Americans and the inventions and all that other stuff. The opposite believed that no, this country was started in 1876, right?
I think it's 1776.
Oh, so
July
1776. 1770. They said that's when America became America, when it got away from the empire, the British Empire. So that's the argument. So she making the point. It started in 1619. They're saying no, it was 1776 when they got away from Britain. So that's led to a lot of backlash her way, where they said that she's revising history. That this is not true. This is what they're talking about in Florida. We're gonna get to that later. So New York Times series has been turned into a 6-part Hulu doc featuring Oprah Winfrey among its producers. No matter how you measure it, Nikole Hannah-Jones, the 1619 Project, was an earth-shaking thing when it premiered in the New York Times in 2019. It won a Pulitzer Prize. It sparked conversation. It generated waves of backlash from people who absolutely positively didn't read the full 100-page collection of essays. It also offered a reminder how effectively legacy media can still move the needle in terms of discourse.
And Oprah has been attaching her ass to anything Black, because she know the Black community don't fuck with her as heavy as they used to.
That was the time when Oprah was Black
the
royalty.
Cream of the crop.
She was Black royalty in media.
She can get any interview. She can't even get interviews with some
I think she
people
can.
now.
I think if Oprah called anybody, she still can get an interview.
No, they were talking about how there's certain rappers that she was asked to do interviews with her, and they said no.
Remember back in the day when she had her show, when she would actually do certain rappers, she would bring them on to disagree with them, to admonish them, chastise them. So I think a lot of rappers don't want to interview with her because all you're gonna do is get chastised by Oprah.
She ain't got that status no more. There's some people that's like, no, I don't want to do an interview with you.
But she don't have a show, so
you do have a show.
What show she got?
She has a show on her network called Super Soul Sunday, I believe.
Oh,
she has guests on there.
Really?
Listen, dude, I just read articles.
Oh,
I do read articles, and
you read, so I don't know because I don't read.
All I know is she used to have a show called Super Soul Sunday on the OWN network. I don't know if it's still.
She don't own it no more, do she? Did she still own?
I don't think she never owned it, to be honest.
When she was
with you.
Yeah. As a 6-part collective Hulu series driven by Hannah-Jones and executive produced by Oprah Winfrey, the 1619 Project proved something.
She literally stopped Tyler Perry from having his own network to put
him on
his shows on her network.
It don't make a difference. I mean, his shows. We one of these days we're gonna get around to Tyler Perry.
I want to do a breakdown of the show to Ruth. Ruth, that is a horrible show.
The 1619 Project proved something different, however provocative. The connections and context that Hannah-Jones and the company provided, but within the print and online confines of New York Times, television has been tackled a bigger picture topic in earnest and with some success for years. Hulu's 1619 Project remains cogent, smartly argued, and persuasive, but in failing to sufficiently adjust its storytelling to the visual demands of possibility of TV, it fails to make itself essential. So this is a critique where they're saying they went through and they did a review of it, saying it didn't measure up to what it could have been, obviously. So the 1619 Project, Nikole Hannah-Jones, and this is also part of the greater argument about reparations going on in this country. Now, last week I told you this happening in a lot of states. You agree with me now? You're starting to see this reparations thing, even if you know it's not, a lot of it might not be authentic. It might just be for votes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's starting to become a normal thing to say on a political platform. So there was a time in like 2002, 1, you start talking about reparations, your numbers just drop. Like nobody ain't trying to hear that. Now you say it, your numbers might not go up, but they won't go down either. It'll be like, okay, whatever. People just kind of let you say what you want to say when it comes to that topic. That used to be like you didn't hear that on news channels, them talking about reparations. Especially for Negroes. Like that just wouldn't happen. So I'm gonna show the trailer for the 1619 Project Nikole Hannah-Jones love child. Let's show it.
They say our people were born on the water. The very first enslaved Africans were brought here over 400 years ago. Since then, no part of America's story has been untouched by the legacy of slavery. This is the 1619 Project.
The New York Times
1619 Project.
My father, he always flew a flag in our front yard.
One thing about Dad, he was patriotic.
He was a part of that United States Army. They served their country, but hey, you serve your country don't mean your country's gonna serve you.
You serve your country, but that don't mean your country gonna serve you.
I've always had an opinion growing up. Obviously, if you grew up in a non-military family, even though funny enough, we do have military members in our family.
We do. We have a
grandfather.
We have a grandfather on both sides.
Yeah, they both fought in Vietnam. No, sorry, not Vietnam. Vietnam. And I think our grandfather on our mother's side, I think he fought in World War II.
Yes. And
our grandfather on our father's side, he fought in our grandfather, not a great grandfather. Our grandfather fought in Vietnam. So we have military members in our family, but growing up, it was like, ain't no black. I know that the infamous quote from the movie, "Ain't no black man got a place in a white man's military," but that always been something that wasn't true historically. In every war in this country, black men have always been a part of it. Every war, because it's natural for men to want to fight for their family. Even if this country hate me, I still got family here. I have a wife, kids, mother, father, brothers, sisters, nephews, nieces, cousins, friends. So I'm going to join the military to defend them, even if the country don't love them. Then you have the situation where it's poverty. A lot of people join the military because the military like to recruit people out of poor areas.
Yep.
They come to.
Then they also pay for you to go to college too. They'll pay for your
degree and stuff,
your tuition. And stuff.
So you have a situation where I remember you used to see recruiters go to high schools. That don't happen in wealthy neighborhoods. Recruiters don't go to no high school in no wealthy neighborhood where the average income is 6 figures. You're not stepping nowhere near that high school. But a poor neighborhood, we're gonna come to the high school and recruit you.
They'll come to your house too.
Yes, they will drive to your house and recruit you.
Yep.
This is only happening to people in poverty. So the military, as much as historically black men have been a part of it, I believe it's a decision you got to make on your own.
You don't have to go to a library, or they would literally come to your house and you will take the test at your house. And
they will sit right there.
Yep.
And wait. Go to sleep, everything. The dude.
Yep. Almost was in the Marines, but I chose not to do it.
Travis Hill was recruited. The man gave him the test. He was so tired. He came in like 8 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock at night. Was it 7, 8?
It was around 5.
No, it was dark. But it might have been during the summer.
It was during the winter.
During the winter when it was cold.
It was 5 or 6 in the afternoon.
But he stayed there for at least an hour and a half. Because you were taking the little test. He talked, and then he fell asleep. He was like, I'm so tired. So this man you probably were like the 18th person he visited that day.
Gotta go recruit another Negro.
So little Travis could have been a soldier.
I'm a soldier.
For the Lord.
In the army of the Lord.
Army of the Lord. All right, let me finish playing this.
The truth is, black Americans have always been foundational to the idea of American freedom.
Like, come on.
She's stealing from Tariq.
She's stealing from both now.
Foundational
but here's the thing.
idea of American freedom.
Now, here's the thing. You can say she's stealing, but is she now taking both those things and just combining it?
And Freeman, too.
I'm saying, but is she not just taking those ideologies and just combining them now?
No, she don't get to do that.
But didn't you say we need to do that? You got angry when it was this separate group.
She can't do that.
Why?
Because she biracial.
That's not the point. My point is, didn't you say you want to get rid of all these subgroups and all that, so just make it one?
I said I'm tired of all these different names for black people.
So she's doing it. She's getting rid of it. She's combining all the ideologies. It's a political movement like ADOS. It's a lineage like FBA.
Why
and
are
it's a
these
historical
biracial
term
people
like
always
freedom?
Trying to get in the front of a movement?
Because they want to prove their blackness. They have a certain level of insecurity sometimes, but they feel the need to prove they're black.
She should.
What?
Have a certain level of insecurities because she's not black.
You know, it is what it is.
That's what happens when you go and make something other.
You can't stop them from identifying what they believe they are.
You're right, I can't, but I can tell you ain't black.
Democracy is a fight. It will always be a fight.
You are calling for reparations. What is the total that would be owed?
$14 trillion.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
Big debt, though.
It is a big debt.
We are still fighting. As long as there's life, we're going to have hope.
When I hear fog, I hear freedom.
There are centuries in that music. Centuries in that spirit.
The 1619 Project, it's not a history. It really is talking about America today. Black Americans' contributions are undeniable. No people had a greater claim to the American flag than we do.
There go them Negro hymns.
What you think? You gonna watch it?
Hell no.
You know damn well we gonna watch it. You know we gonna watch it just to see how many lies they tell, if they lie.
Well, you know black people always got to tell a couple lies.
Wow. Now y'all see what he said?
That's the truth.
So why? So you saying black people are liars?
Yes, black people are liars. Everybody's a liar.
Oh,
Everybody
now you're
tell
trying to
lies.
make everybody now.
Does not everybody lie?
Of course everybody lies.
Okay.
I mean,
yes.
I don't, but you know.
Black people tell lies.
I don't, but you know. I don't shame people.
Yeah, they'll shoot you one real quick. A fair one.
I agree. They do not just, do not like us. But I'm confused as to why, what am I missing? Like I said, it's either we can go into the deep level of it and believe that there's some plot to create more of a more of a defragmentation of whatever they believe to be a connection between the continent and black Americans. We can sit here and say that all we want. That is a true thing. The United States government has taken steps to separate black Americans from the African continent. Regardless if you believe that those are people that you should try and connect with, connecting with them would not bode well for the American system.
That's your belief.
That's the truth. You really think let's say you get 100, we don't have this debate before. You get 100,000 black Americans, go to Ghana, a retired black Americans. I got this theory from a channel named.
They don't even want you there.
I got this theory from a channel named BGS. He said if you send 100,000 retired black Americans who receive retirement funds, you send 100,000 to Ghana, and they just take that money and infuse into the Ghanaian government within 10 years, that's a couple $2 billion. America don't want that. They don't want you taking your finances and putting into another system, which is funny because we see Mexicans, we see all the immigrants do it. But the problem is if you send black Americans to one of those countries, let's say you send your granny, your grandpa,
I ain't sending
in their
there.
retirement years, they decide they want to go to Ghana.
They like to have their lights turned on and wash.
And you send 100,000 black retirees. You're not just gonna get them. You got their kids, their grandkids. They're gonna come over at some point visiting. So now you got 100,000 people turn into 300,000 people with visiting and all that stuff. So within a few years, you get a consistent 500,000 people a year coming to your country to visit. That's a lot of money. Yet folks or celebs at least still flock to the Super Soul Sunday without full disclosure. I used to drink vats at the old Kool-Aid still until I learned about Boule, Greek letter frats, and SS's.
You drink the grape Kool-Aid?
The grape Kool-Aid.
The grape Kool-Aid is good.
A little random. How you doing? We are all Americans. We have more in common than not. MLK would bitch slap most people involved in the movements of today.
Was Little Random the one that left the comment? Okay.
I don't know.
I think they're new.
Yeah, what's up? If I say what's up, Little Random.
Welcome to the channel.
MLK, his responses to today's movements. It depends. You talking about ADOS, the free FBA thing? Well, Martin Luther King was more, and this it is what it is. He was more of a globalist. He definitely would have asked for other races to be included. Him and unfortunately people like Fred Hampton believed in something like a coalition, rainbow coalition. They believe in adding poor white people, Mexicans, and Native Americans.
That group in.
Who?
LGB.
Yeah, they believe
alphabet people. Martin was a communist.
Wow.
Martin Luther King was a communist.
You didn't want to, we're gonna do a video on Martin Luther King because you didn't want to get something off your chest about Martin. I think.
I mean, you trying to water it down. Just say what it is so the person can know, and then
I just
they
said
got their opinion on it.
He believed in a rainbow coalition. He believed in the idea of poor white people combining with every other non-white people, quote unquote.
You got freaking. You don't have African American studies. You got freaking American studies.
It is what it is. They know what it is. Frickin'.
Oh, that's for them, throwing shots, shooting. The shooting. We didn't give them the proper name. We call them frickins, not Africans. It was no typo. It was what it is.
All right, hold on. Let me
San Francisco.
No, not yet. We're not gonna jump to that yet. San Fran. Now look at this. Armed Black Lives Matter members demanding reparations. Now you can't. I know what this is. This reminds me a lot of what they call the Not Fucking Around Coalition.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
The fact they connected themselves to Black Lives Matter, and they're trying to act like the guns and stuff. Yeah, if you join this, you're crazy.
You join this, then if you get shot.
No, it ain't about just getting shot. If you join this, you might. Who knows what's gonna happen? You might get arrested.
Or
some of these people is definitely some type of.
Or they agents.
I'm about to say agents of chaos.
That's what I really think they are. I think they're agents.
Or is this an attempt to gain some level of esteem back from black people? Like, look, we willing to bring guns out and demand reparations. This is Black Lives. This is the real Black Lives Matter. Are they trying to gain esteem? Are they even connected to the actual organization? Or are they just waving the flag? Let's see what they say. What? I saw your face. What? Say it. I know what you saw. You want to say something?
What I
Colors.
See? What I see?
What'd you see?
So they got the Pan-African color.
Reparations, HR 40.
And that right there was the crazy part. When he mentioned HR 40, HR 40 is not reparations. It's a study. Why are you pushing for a study? Now,
so we have some people out there that don't know what the hell they doing or what they talking about.
No, they do. But I think the point they're making is they believe that we need to get HR 40 through to get reparations on a national level. So study it on a national level rather than on local levels. And you say you disagree with the local level.
What?
You said you disagree with doing it on the local.
I disagree with the local level.
You said you disagree with trying to do this reparation thing on a local level. They need to be national.
When did I say that?
So now you remember saying it?
I don't.
All right, we can forget it. But they believe we need to get HR 40 in.
I'm sure George would know the video, the episode.
They believe that we should get HR 40 through so that it can be studied on a national level. So at least we'll have to study on a national level instead of local. Instead of just having California do theirs and New York do theirs and Texas do theirs. And
they can definitely take some direction from San Francisco's.
I know you see that niggas. They love when the number get bigger. That's all they like.
San Francisco, they trying to hook you up.